the twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Troubled times, I'm afraid the better days that we've seen have done passed us by. Nothing but lies. You can't believe a damn word that they say. They're messing with our lives. News on the TV, nothing but negativity, just poison to the soul. What's right is wrong, what's wrong is right. They challenge God's word with all their might. I can't help but wonder, where's this country gone? Lunatics and politics, about enough to make you sick. It's corruption to the bone. Mr. Washington, D.C., best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Hey, I'm just a good old boy, raising hell and making noise, but I'm 80 million strong. Ain't much for backing down, gonna fight and stand my ground. Got an army of my own. Best thing you can do for me, leave me the hell alone. Declaring war on Donald Trump with their bullshit stories that they're making up. They can't stand the fact that he speaks the truth. I don't know what's going on, but I can tell that something's wrong on Pennsylvania Avenue. Crooked ass politicians, you might ought to pay attention. This country's tired of you. You hate our guns and our freedom. Piece of shit like you is why we need them. So don't hold your breath, we ain't giving up. Double standard way of law. What's good for them is bad for y'all. Change all the rules, make them up as you go. Mr. Washington, D.C., best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Hey, we're just a good old boys, raising hell and making noise. We're 80 million strong. Ain't much for backing down. We're gonna fight. Stand her ground. Got an army of our own. Best thing you can do for me is leave me the hell alone. Oh, here we go. The hell alone. Best thing you can do for you is leave this country alone.
Hey, morning everybody. Okay, the cut for today, it's NG Tech, company I used to do some business with. I just grabbed it. Man, I feel like shit. I was actually even going to cancel it, but I'm going to hang out with y'all for, I don't know. We'll just see. Son, I got some shit cut up yesterday. And so let's see, what do we got? Scat Pack, Crazy Hillbilly, Huckleberry, Mr. William, Black Cat, Miss Teresa, Crazy Hillbilly, Miss Cher Bear, what's up, Grumpy? You people. That's it. You people. But yeah, I got some shit done yesterday, so that's good. But oh my god, dude. As the evening set in, I was just and I would try to sleep, but oh my god, dude, my legs are just my gut, my legs. But I got shit done, so I just got to figure out the pace. I feel like hell warmed over. Holy shit, is it foggy as all get out outside? Well, I was going to try to show you what I cut up, but you can't quite see it because of all the fog. That's crazy. Looks like the wind's blowing pretty good. Shoot me a link. I've got something to share regarding that deal. Okay. Um, okay, and then we're gonna go here, here. Let's see. Okay. I hope it works. First time I've had somebody, I think, up on this one. I don't remember if I ever had anybody up on this or not. Holy shit, dude. Ooh, man. And thank you, Scat Pack. Thank you, Huckleberry. Thank you, Miss Teresa. Yeah, it won't be no quick fix to this, but I just gotta, I don't know, I'm gonna try to figure out something that's heavy with, I'm thinking maybe like turmeric. I think that's an anti-inflammatory. I need to try to eat mostly anti-inflammatory stuff. I think that would help keep some of it down anyway. Well, nobody said anything in chat. I don't know if I've just kind of like hung in the limbo mode. There's nothing moving, nothing changing. You have entered the Twilight Zone. Episode 222. Tell you what, I was kind of impressed. Almost 1 million people in Texas voted the first day of early voting, and it's like, oh yeah. Hey, looky there. Okay, so this is kind of weird, but cool. Okay, so.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a lot easier to use than that last one that I came up with. I don't remember what. Yeah, that's a lot easier.
This one seemed pretty cool coming in on the back end and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot less buttons
Awesome.
too on the client side.
Awesome. What's up, man?
Okay. On it's weird. The messages come in from the top and not the bottom. I'm looking down at the bottom. I'm like, where are all the messages? And they're coming in from the top.
Oh, wow.
No, it's good. It's a good interface. Okay. Here's what I got to share. So everybody's up in arms about that DoD lethal force memo that came out. And before we get started, there's one thing I want to make clear about this. If you go back and read it thoroughly, the lethal force option was always there. What that memo did was it made it easier for commanders to use it, and it did some stuff to kind of not circumvent the posse comitatus, but to make it so that it was legal within that framework. All right. So the ability for them to use lethal force was always there, but that's not the important part, and that's not what people should be concerned about, and that 99% of the people that I've seen reporting on it missed. So I've got this friend, and his last job when he was in the military, he's a career military guy. His last job in the military was to edit and update white papers, DoD directives, and rules and regulations, because they come from the Pentagon down, and each unit has a copy of this stuff. So they have to make sure that everything's in line with what the current stuff is. So he's got this eye for reading official documents. He can do this better than any person I've ever known. He can read these things and completely understand them first time around, right? Which is, in my mind, that's a fantastic skill to have. Anyway, so I'm talking to him, and he points out in the original 2016 document, the unedited one before they made this change, there's a sentence or a paragraph right in the middle of the first page. And it says something to the effect that any intelligence gathering operations done by DoD entities will ensure the security of people's Fourth Amendment rights and privacy, the privacy and Fourth Amendment rights of the American citizens, right? And if you read the document as a whole, a lot of it pertains to intelligence gathering. Well, in the new one, the 2024 version that they just released, that paragraph is gone. And he showed me a picture. He showed me a side by side of the documents. And for the life of me, I can't find the image that he used and he showed me. If I can find it, I'm going to put it on our community page. But they took that out. And there's no guarantees in the document that DoD intelligence gathering will do that from here on out. And in my mind, that's even scarier than them fixing the lethal force thing.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and there was something, it's the way that they've opened it up. There was something that somebody brought up. It's because now it's just like if you need backup, you can just call. So that's that. I think that's where the posse comitatus comes in and stuff. They've there's a blurred line. I guess we're really not going to know what happens till somebody challenges it.
Right.
That's unfortunately, that's when you know the true facts is one that gets challenged and it works its way, and then it's like, aha. What's up, Carl? Wolverines. Sorry, buddy, that's about the best Wolverines you get today, man.
But it bothers me that 99% of the coverage of this was really kind of clickbaity stuff about the lethal force issue. And in my mind, the most important thing in that document was the removal of that guarantee of security of our rights and privacy.
Well, that's kind of what it was always. That's what it used to be really for anyway, was the intelligence gathering.
Right. Well, and you couple that with.
What's up, John?
Couple that with the statement that Biden made yesterday about needing to lock up Trump. Yeah, he needs to and Musk was talking about it yesterday.
But you see the interview with who was that? It was Musk. Was it Musk and Trump?
Carlson. It was Musk and Carlson. Where Musk laid out how dangerous the next.
He goes, yeah, if Trump doesn't get in, I'm fucked.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But then again, the whole country is. I mean, because if they really pull this off and they steal it, then it's a steamrolling event. Criminals don't take back shit going, well, we kind of scored more than we thought, so we'll bring this back. No. If criminals get away with shit, they just go on the next time.
I did that video. I did that video last week about that. You know, what are you going to do? You wake up after November 5th and shenanigans have happened. What are you going to do? We talked about it last night. You know, your life really isn't going to change that much on November 6th. So you're going to buckle down and you're going to start doing what you need to do. But as time goes on, you're going to have to make some decisions.
I think it'll depend on where you live. Because some people are going to, because no matter which way this goes, there's going to be another side that's extremely pissed off.
Right.
So if that's the major contingency around your area, then you're going to feel the ramifications of that.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
What's up, Mr. Metal?
I'll be honest with you. The left, the Marxists are always pissed off, and they're always going to do fiery but mostly peaceful protests. And I'm beyond worrying about them. I know if somebody comes and physically threatens me or my family, I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm going to do. And everybody out there should feel the same way. The thing is, what happens if they do the same thing they did in 2020, or he wins and they try to throw him in jail? And you know, there's a whole scenario. He's in Florida, and if New York tries to throw him in jail, the only way he gets thrown in jail is if he goes back to New York. If he stays in Florida, he tells them to stuff it. You know, there's not much they can do, and they can try to extradite him. And I guarantee you that in that case, DeSantis is going to say no. In that case, the only thing that can happen to make him go to jail is federal intervention. And then you got a case where DeSantis has the choice of saying, okay, Florida law enforcement and National Guard, federal LEO are not allowed to arrest him. And then, I mean, you can just let your mind run and see where that takes you. What comes out of that situation.
What's up, Billy? Mountain Aviator. Well, what worries me is that so many of the scenarios, for lack of a better description, it's almost like the rules. You know, it's like, well, they'll do. Man, they have literally broke so much unconstitutional shit that's why I worry about what's going to go down afterwards, because this isn't politics as normal. This is literally blatant lying. This is blatantly circumventing our justice system. This is blatantly, misleading people. It's so, I mean, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, but hey, Lebanon, they need $157 million. It's this blatantly, and it's not that it's hidden. It's not like, you got to dig into the document to see that. No. They're very open about it, and that's scary, dude. It's kind of like the drug dealer. See, the drug dealer that goes in and kind of like only comes out at night, yeah, he's a drug dealer. He does bad shit. The one that's balls get big enough that he's so brazen that he just stands out there all day and night, okay, that's the one. There's some shit in the mix. Well, that's how I kind of feel with these people. They're so blatant with their shit and the rhetoric that they're talking.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to tear down the Constitution. And it's kind of like, you've got a bad habit of always saying what you're planning on doing. It's like, so I'm piecing all this rhetoric and then kind of going, you're talking about criminal behavior. This isn't politics behavior. This is criminal behavior.
Anybody that talks about Marxist conspiracies now, as far as politics goes, needs to have their head checked, because it's not a conspiracy anymore. It's out in the open.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking about this the other day. Ignore your rank and file, the run of mill, person with colored hair and metal sticking out of their face that's screeching about he's a threat to democracy and he's going to lock his political opponents up. Ignore those people. because they don't have an original thought in their head. They're just parroting what they hear in the news. But take a really close look at the people that are squawking the loudest about threat to democracy and, he's going to lock up his political opponents. These are all people that have done stuff that unarguably probably merits them being put in jail at some point. And the fact that Trump said he's going to release the Epstein client list, and I said it before, I hope he does.
J.D. Vance just got through bringing up the Epstein list when he was did that, who is that damn goofy little dude, Theo or something, Weekend with Theo or some little podcast, and I don't know who the hell Theo whatever is, but he apparently interviews, he interviewed Trump. So Trump even sat down and talked to him. Well, he was talking with J.D. Vance, I'm assuming, this past weekend. And J.D. Vance even just flat out come right out and said, yeah, that needs to get released.
Yep. Well, and Huckleberry said, I hope stuff does go down. We need a reckoning. And that's what they're terrified of. They are completely terrified that if Trump gets back in power, that he learned his lesson the first time about the people he surrounds himself with. And if anything, Trump is smart. All right. Trump is very intelligent, and he will not repeat that mistake again. Plus,
he's even talked about that on Sean Ryan's. He flat out said, like, I laughed. I told the missus, going, that right there is what I've been trying to tell people. That's about as close as I got screwed as you're ever going to hear. He's not going to ever tell you he got played. But he was talking to Sean Ryan. He goes, I walked into Washington and I didn't quite know everybody. And what's different now is I know people now. And it's kind of like, okay, there's the little wink, wink, nudge that you get it now. You see who sold you out.
Yep. Well, and
what's up, Apocalypse Librarian?
This may upset some people. Trump is a narcissist. Anybody at that level is a narcissist. It's just a simple fact. And he's vindictive enough to to execute the law exactly as it's written, to make these people pay a price.
Think about that, though. I mean, people would go with the orange man bad and Trump, billionaire. I don't give a shit if you're a billionaire, millionaire, or a broke dick person on thing. This dude, his family came under attack. I can't even begin to tell you how many of that Donald Jr. dude went to before the committee. They called him like a couple of dozen times just trying to get in. So you just look at that and it's like, it's kind of like the waterboard thing. You can only thump a mofo in the forehead so many times before it's like, look, dude, I'm not taking this shit no more. So you can only imagine with him, you tried to cripple his business, you make up all these lies, and all these are the people that were his friends. See, you got to always put that in the back of the mind on the reaction. These are people that used to shake his hand and give him a hug and tell him that they wanted him to be president. So talk about flipping switch. But I will say Eli Crane was doing an interview, and he pointed out a very basic raw fact that everybody overlooks. Everybody kind of gets into that. Yeah, that's it. 1776. And he goes, but the scary part is everybody's so complacent. He said, it's scary when all you get is 18% that show up in the primaries.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Christians right now. Just people that say they're Christians could change, but they won't vote.
KP, does that? Hang on a second, Rescue.
Could change the vote, and they just sit there. America is so complacent, and I'm just like, I didn't like to hear it, but at least it validated what I thought, because that's what I think our biggest problem is we're too comfortable. It's kind of like you don't know what you got till you lose it, and unfortunately, if we do that with our country, I'm not sure we're getting it back. This ain't the 1700s no more. It's a different playing field, and if we lose ground, I don't think we ever get it back.
Hey KP, does that help the volume on my end? I noticed that KP was saying that you're extremely low and I'm extremely loud, and I noticed that when I'm on YouTube on my PC, your volume is much lower than when I'm listening to it on my
what's up,
tablet.
Ethan?
But so yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% there, Rescue. Yeah, and listen, I didn't come on here to blackpill everybody. I just wanted everybody to be aware of this, and I'm gonna I'm going to seriously try to find that document and get it up on my community page so people can see it. It's really important. You know, we live in a surveillance state. You know, the stuff we put online is intel, and it's monetized. You know, and so we need to understand the risk that we're under. You
Does
know,
that sound any better on the volume? Is it more balanced?
you
got
sound the
weird
same. You
stuff.
sound the same to me. On the Restream client, it sounds perfectly fine. But you know,
What's up,
and
Pilgrim?
again, I didn't come up here to black pill people, but this is
Big
a
Dusty, little Dusty.
call for everybody to keep preparing. I said it last night on our live. Tag said something on his live Friday that everybody needs to repeat and think about very hard. Is every single day, no matter what your situation is, you need to do something that's going to improve your position every single day, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, doesn't matter, as long as you're doing it, because we're coming to a point in time. The next, how many months is it till January 20th? 4 months, 3 months.
3.
It's going to be rough. You know, they're going to, if Trump somehow manages to get into the Oval Office, get reelected, the Democrats are going to be like a bunch of little kids that are upset, and they're going to start kicking the blocks around the room and throwing stuff.
Well,
And
Schumer's even said something
yeah,
about if he gets in, then before the 20th, how the Congress needs to. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't think you're going to get Congress to go along with you. But then again, see, this is part of the bigger picture. If they kept everybody focused on the Trump Harris thing, then you haven't paid attention to your representative that's fixing to be in there for 2 years. So could lose the House. You know, we don't have the Senate right now. They do. That's why everything stops at the Senate. Anything the House does just stops at the Senate because they're not going to let it through. But if we don't pay attention, and I got to say, that's one thing that Eli Crane was talking about, and it's like, it is. It's, you know, every 2 years you can fire your representative. But it's, you've got to invest in the time to look at, are they voting the way you want? Are you making the phone call? Are you sending the email saying, hey, I saw this bill. You better vote no on this. And then if they vote yeah, but see, it's all this mental giving up victim shit. And it's, I don't do no, and that just drives me nuts because it's like, that's your representative. And if you blow that off, that's your local. Your local representative on the state level is the dude who backs you up when it comes to the state legislative. Your federal representative is supposed to be the dude that goes up there and votes the way you want it. The only reason they don't is because people back in these districts stop paying attention. That's, I gotta say, I totally can see that, especially when you look at the numbers of people that show up. Now, I will say I was very encouraged yesterday because yesterday at the closing of Monday, which was the first day of early voting in Texas, dude, 800 and something thousand people voted. Almost 1 million people on the 1st day. And it's like, there we go. Maybe we're going to get out there and show. But see, it's like, but what side was that? Which 800,000 people showed up?
Here's something else to think about. Here's another scenario. If something happens to the voting process and it gets thrown into the Senate with the Electoral College, and it comes down to a vote in the Senate, it's split 50-50, and the tie-breaking vote is Kamala Harris. So if it comes down to a question about certification and all the Dems vote in block like they always do, and all the Republicans vote the same way, guess who legally gets to cast the deciding vote in that situation on who becomes president?
Unless we win the Senate.
Yep. You know, so there's, again, I'm not saying this stuff to black pill people. I want everybody to realize that we are entering, it's been a long, long time since we've been in this territory as a country. And everybody out there, everybody in earshot of my voice on this needs to buckle down. Don't let it get you. John McGill, victim mentality sucks. It gets you nowhere fast. Absolutely. Don't feel like you're a victim. Feel like you're empowered and you're able to take charge of your own situation. You know, and
That's it.
go out and do stuff. Help your neighbors, get to know your neighbors better, prepare, build your community, and do all that stuff. And at the end of the day, we may not be fine, but we won't be dead or living on our knees in shackles. Right?
I kind of wonder if it gets too bad, there'll be secession stuff because I gotta say I just like I said because this isn't politics as normal. This isn't just Democrat Republican. This is a changing of the country. We're either gonna change and go this way, or we're at least gonna stay with our founding documents and start pushing this way.
I, the secession argument in my mind is a non-starter. It ain't going to happen for the one big reason: the federal government won't allow it, and that's the thing about when anytime you
See,
get in a fight.
but Grumpy, that's going under the context of like following the rules. If they have literally flipped things up upside down so bad, then
Well, the state, some states, okay, we're getting into theoretical here, okay, and I'm not
yeah, oh,
advocating.
it's all theoretical.
I
Hell,
am
you
not
ain't no guarantee.
advocating anything, and I'm not predicting anything. But if several states decide they want to secede, the federal government will not let him. That's one thing about fighting that people don't seem to understand is both sides have a choice in the matter. And if you decide to secede and the federal government says you're not seceding, you got to fight. And that fight is not about secession at that point. That fight is about survival and winning. And if anything, the first round of the Civil War, the first uh, undecided issue there proves that fact. You know, it ended up not being about secession. It ended up being about survival. You know, and the I'm going to call it North and South because that's the easiest way to talk about it. But the North ended up surviving that, and the South didn't. You know, but this time around, I think people have learned that you can't leave the issue undecided like that because it was the end of the Civil War. There were a lot of questions that were left undecided, and you saw all the problems that were caused through Reconstruction, and even the echoes of the Civil War are reverberating through our society today. Right? And I think
There's
people
been a
learned you
there's been a
can't
lot of
leave it
groundwork though,
undecided.
Grumpy.
Do what?
There's been a lot of groundwork from
Yeah.
out of the Texas side. It's like our bullion depository, the stock exchange, Texas Stock Exchange. Abbott's actually been going overseas to the vendors themselves to pull business, basically, and circumventing Harris and the whole
Mhm.
federal go and make wheels and deals. So there's always been talk for decades in Texas about secession. I mean, we've always had that talk because
Right.
we just have a weird history. So we've always had it, but right now things are so drastic. I mean, you're breaking. You're saying that one side has to follow the Constitution while the other side is just ripping it to shreds. And see, and I don't think because it's like, dude, if they pull this off, there won't be a Supreme Court. There will be no. We won't have a judicial system no more because they're going to stack that. It'll all be for show. People do that little phrase. It's all a show. Oh no, that will really be a show. They'll
Mhm.
just stack so many Supreme Courts in there that they can go, no, see, it's legal. The Supreme Court said, yeah, but it's all bogus shit. Well, see, I'm not sure that there's some governors that are going to go down with this again.
I get it, but again,
I mean, I hope not.
for example, if Texas decides to succeed and the federal government says, "I don't think so," and you have an invasion of federal forces into Texas, then at that point in time, it does not the issue is not about secession. The issue is about who's going to win, right? That's what it's about. Now, the end result may be the country breaking apart, which I could see. But even then, if it breaks apart, you're going to have a hostile nation on your border for eternity until the issue is completely decided. You know,
Oh yeah.
so
Well, we've been building up on that too. We got a fob. See, there's just there's things that he put in place. It's like, why would we build a whole base? I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying but Humboldt wasn't slacking. We didn't just go down there and pitch some tents. I mean, we literally built a fob area down there, and it's like, and I mean, I'm not wanting it per se. It's not like yeah, but I think that because how do you recover from that? I mean, you basically just got it stolen right in front of your face. So if you don't stand up against that, I mean, you kind of, it's not, like I said, it's not like this is politics as normal. This isn't.
Okay, and I'm gonna fess up on this whole conversation. I am biased. I am biased on this. I do not want to see the union broken apart. I want to see the Constitution restored. I would rather we fight to restore it than walk away from it and leave it broken like that. So I am biased. So anything I say, any supposition that I have is going to be tainted by that, and that's just who I am.
Yeah. Well, that's me. I mean, but see, I always get made fun of. I get, whatever, rescue. But I mean, 330 million people. So you could change this. It's just that people have to actually get up and invest in the voting. Look at who's on the school board. Look who's in your area. And it's participate. And that's. But I think
Speaking about
enough
that,
people sit on their ass.
dude, did you hear about the Amish in Pennsylvania? Since you brought that up, did you hear about
They're
this?
coming out to vote.
Dude, in 2020, there were only between 40 and 50,000 Amish people that voted. I was watching a video. There's a guy. He's got a YouTube channel, and he used to be in the Amish community, but he left. But like all his family is Amish there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he was saying yesterday that there are 180,000 Amish registered to vote this time.
Excuse me.
And that's a big enough voting block that if they vote in unison, 2020 doesn't happen, and because Pennsylvania goes to Trump without even with the shenanigans that happened.
Yeah.
So it's happening all across
that's
the country.
I think that one dude brought up, man, see, once again, sometimes you let people and just, they'll hang themselves. Well, what happened? And damn, what is that dude's name? Amos. It's Amos. Yeah. Amos the Amish. Well, he's the dude that made his food, made the milk, and took care of his whole community. And then the feds came at him.
Mhm.
Robert Barnes is his lawyer.
Yep.
And you pissed him off, dude. You pissed the Amish off. You went after Amos, and you basically seized his shit. Trying to force him into regulations and all this shit that they don't want to live. So you sparked their attention, and luckily they're not polluted with the internet and shit. So they're kind of still. It's easy enough to right and wrong with them. It's not big gray areas. Yes, Scat Pack. I like Eli Cream.
So, Apocalypse Librarian, you're saying free vehicle rights to any Amish to vote. Is that something you're offering, or is that something that's already being offered? It's a funny comment either way it goes, but if they're already doing it, man, that's just thinking ahead.
Amos Miller. That's it. Hey, what's up, Guardian Prepping? Morning. Hope all is well across the pond over there.
So that I just hope everybody is got their head on a swivel and they're thinking down the road, so that when the time comes, we're not blindsided by anything that happens. I guess that's the whole point of coming up here this morning and talking.
Well, and you vote and you do what you can do, and then the rest is under your house. It's all under your roof. I mean, I say the Serenity Prayer, but in all honesty, so your American civic duty is to go down there and cast a ballot. Cast a ballot. Once you're done with that, your job is to your home, and you're providing your family, and I think that's the biggest change we need is we need society to stop going to the grocery store, hitting the fast food, going to the quick easy, spending hours walking through the mall at all these little shops and you go local, go down to your little local flea market, you know, plant some little stuff. Hell, I got strawberries growing. I ain't got a strawberry one, but that bush is very healthy. So if I ever figure out what's up, I'll get some strawberries.
Yep.
But
Well, and I'll repeat what you just said. I say it constantly, and I'll continue to say it. There is no political solution to the problems our country faces. All right. That doesn't mean don't go out and vote. What it means is exactly what Rescue just said. The changes that need to happen in this country need to happen at the local level. It needs to happen on your school board. It needs to happen in your church. It needs to happen at your county courthouse. The seat of government. That's where it needs to change. And the only way we do that is by getting involved and building community, holding local officials to task whenever they get tyrannical or decide that we're nothing more than their credit card. That's what we need to do.
oh, librarian said that was his offer and some other local people
Okay.
giving him rides.
Okay.
What's up?
I
Morning.
great idea. Fantastic idea.
Well, and oh boy, Trump really fired him up when he talked about getting rid of the educational system.
Oh,
Man, he fired him up big time, and I'm like, yeah.
from his lips to God's ears.
And I loved it because homeboy said, well, what if they, promote the trans stuff in any way? And he said, we just don't send them no money. Don't give them no money. They
So
don't need all that. And I
So-
see there once again how many conversations have gone down over the years about the perverted shit in these schools. And then how many people that were talking about that went down to their local school board to go, wait a minute, let's make sure you're not doing that here. See, it's because I think they've intentionally whittled into where you don't participate. It does no good. That's that whole Rothschild bullshit. I saw somebody mentioned how the Rothschilds designed, this is all the Rothschild plan. And I'm like, man, you ought to just go watch some of the interviews from Donald Trump in the damn 80s and the 90s and shit. And it's like, really? So they've been planning this for, they had him saying that because it's all part of the plan. You just realize how weak-minded people are.
Mhm.
And it's like, wow, man, you're really going to give up on your vote? Because you can go down and decide who your county judge is. Now, is it always going to go your way? Nope. But what that does do is see that once again, it goes back into community. Because if you're community and you're talking and you're sharing and you're bartering, it's like here around me, there's about 400 people in this general little area within about a 20-mile radius. But over half of them kind of have the same mindset. Well, okay. So you have those conversations. Well, that's how we keep like our tax assessor in check, the sheriff in check. We had a crooked sheriff a while back, and people finally got tired of it. And so once they did, then the masses got together. Next thing you know, bam, homeboy was fired. So that's, and I ain't no politician. I'm just saying if it's kind of like the old little shitty home repair hammer, claw hammer. Okay, is that the ideal hammer to build a house with and shit? No. Is that what you have access to? Okay, then use it.
Yeah.
Well, the vote, is it going to solve all the problems in the world? No, it wasn't designed to do that. It was designed to make you an active American citizen that had a voice. And your voice was to go down there and cast that ballot. That didn't mean it was always going to go your way, but you were supposed to go down there and cast that ballot. And by talking with your neighbors, you have most of the same consensus. And that's, to me, it's that simple. But then they've got it so confused with all this shit, and they get people mentally jacked with, oh, it don't do no good. And it probably doesn't in some areas because it's kind of like the mob. Yeah, you couldn't go up into New York back in the day and just open up a shop and refuse to pay them without suffering repercussions. Why? Because they had done embedded themselves. So, but you could do it now because now the mob's been dealt with. So now you could go up into New York and start a business and not have to pay protection. Well, that's you deal with it. Well, that's dealing with your school board. And what do you do when all of a sudden you don't have these crooked ass teachers teaching these kids this? Now we start to work on changing society because it's like I told somebody yesterday that stopped by to talk to me while I was cutting on them bushes and stuff. I said, there is no one all be all answer to this, but you've got to get out and say your voice, and people just don't want to, man. People.
Hey, Crazy Hillbilly asked if you'd send him the link. Apparently, he wants to come up here.
Send me an email, Crazy Hillbilly at brian.rescue@gmail.
You know, the whole Department of Education thing. So both my parents were school teachers, lifelong school teachers, and about half my aunts and uncles are school teachers across several different states. You know, and so I'm almost 60 now. So I remember life before the Department of Education came into being, right?
Oh yeah, before the
Um,
federal government gets involved.
one of the my daughter used to get so upset because she would go to these competitions across the state of Missouri, and people would hear her last name and they'd be like, "Oh, are you Coach Allard's granddaughter?" Yes. She used to come home so mad because everybody across the state of Missouri knew who he was. I mean, he was just that type of guy. He touched a lot of lives, right? He got out of teaching because of the No Child Left Behind, and he talked about that in the early 2000s about how education was changing, and and I saw it. I saw it firsthand. I grew up with it. I saw the small town politics with school boards. You know, we moved several times because of that stuff. So I'm firsthand knowledge of it. You know,
Rainwater.
even though it is kind of murky because it's been a long time ago, and I've drank a lot and had a couple of knocks to the head since then, but I still remember it. All right, you know. So yeah, I think the Department of Education going away and turning it back over to the locals, that needs to be done. Your local people need to have more control over your education, and if you're a parent of a small child or a grandparent of a small child that's in school, Mike, for God's sake, be involved. Be involved with it. Know who the administrators are. Know who the teachers are. You know, one of the best things I ever did as a parent. My son, my son was complaining because the teachers did not know how to teach him. He was pulling a C in his in the class, and he was in sixth grade. And the teacher just did not. He was not a good teacher. None of the teachers were good teachers, and it was not his fault that he was getting a C. So I said, okay, let's go audit the class. I'm gonna go sit through a day of school with you, and I'm gonna make sure those teachers are teaching you. So I called the principal and I said, hey, can I come through and audit the class? And she was like, absolutely. And I went through and I audited that class and got to see the teachers in action. And there was one teacher, he was a good teacher, really kind of, okay, my bias poking through. He was wearing Birkenstocks and socks in class. Okay, that kind of tell you. But he was a good teacher. He really was. But the kids remember this type of stuff. When they graduated high school, I had kids at the graduation come up and say, Mr. Allard, I remember when you came and sat through our class with us, and it was really fun. You know, so go get involved. Be involved with
Yeah,
the
they don't do that no
school.
more.
And
They,
you know what? If they don't allow you to audit the class, then you need to raise hell. You need to,
well, I
if you
think
cannot.
like around here, you can. It's weird though. Like you used to be like encouraged, like you would be reminded,
Hmm?
you know, this is parent teacher day or a parent, child lunch day and it was something for you to come and sit in the back of the class and kind of observe the class and how it went. You can do that, but it's see people lost sight. And what I was going to say a while ago, and I just went brain fart, but I don't know. When I was talking to the person yesterday, you got all the talk about politicians, doctors, cops, lawyers, all this titles. And you know what? If we don't change society and the moral fabric to the moral compass in case Bushido's listening, gives him a reason to drink.
Say it
And,
2 more times.
Yep, moral compass, moral compass. But we got, because when you think about it, that's you're hiring. That's, I used to laugh around here because we're in such a little rural area, and you'd get one of these fancy, like we got a Starbucks, and I cracked up at that, and I'm like, okay, really, we got a Starbucks? Because, and this might sound, I don't know what damn name it is, but I make fun of people. Sorry, it is what it is. I've lived down here most of all my life, so. But these are some damn rednecks, dude. And you got rednecks that are gonna be baristas. Ooh, this isn't like the city shit up here, you know? And it's kind of like, oh, I don't know how that works. That we got Panda Express. I'm like, really? You gonna have a bunch of rednecks in here cooking fried rice? That shit's not going over very well. We're just, I mean, we do good with burger joints and, a couple of little Tex-Mex restaurants, but now all of a sudden they're bringing in these corporate city things, and it's like, just so you understand, you got this labor force to pull from. I don't think you're going to quite get the outcome that you get down there in the city.
Hey, Huckleberry, question. I have no skin in the game. Are you talking about the education game? Is that what you're talking about? Because if that's the case, I want to counterpoint you, and I want to ask you some questions. Okay. So if that's the case, let me know. If not, I'll leave it be. Yeah, Matt, pay teachers very well and fire the bad ones.
Well, shit.
Well,
did you see what he said? He said his middle son had to teach himself math in high school because the teachers couldn't do the math he was taking.
Oh, Huckleberry said that?
Matt.
Oh, Matt did. Well, what the heck? Okay, there's no scroll bar on the chat. But if I click to the next of it, it just whizzes up and down. I'm trying to find the that comment. Well, and it's a sad state of affairs. It's a sad state of affairs. Great. I don't have my glasses on. It's
what's
like,
up, Rony?
Okay, yeah, I read that one.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this mic. Maybe this mic is finally giving up the ghost. I mean, I think it was only like $24.99 with the mic and this goofy little arm. And what else did I get? Oh, I got this stupid ring light. Let you clip on some shit and have it shoot you in the face. And it's like, no, thank you.
Okay, Huckberry. Here we go. Here's my counterpoint to you. You say you don't have any kids, so you don't have any skin in the game. Yes, you do, and you've got people in your situation have way more skin in the game than what they realize. First off, your taxes are going to the education. So that right there, if my taxes are going to the education, whether they got kids in the school system or not, I have skin in the game, and I have the right to go up there and talk about it. And anybody that tells you otherwise is disingenuous at best. All right, and a tyrant at the worst. Second thing is
anarchy, tyranny, and wait, damn it.
Anarcho-tyranny.
There you go.
Yeah,
I
I told
listened last night. I was going to try to remember how to say that.
Yeah,
I was going to poke fun with you on something else too when you were talking about the assimilation.
the second thing about that, about not having skin in the game, it's a proven fact. It's a proven fact that the amount of education that children have coming out of school directly relates to the amount of juvenile delinquency. Good kids, by and large, are not going out and committing crimes as teenagers. All right. So the more effective your school is, and trust me, I am a product of both public school and private school. And if I had my druthers, my kids, well, actually my oldest was in private school for a little while, but I would rather homeschool or private school my kids and send them to a public school. But if the public school is the only option that you have, you want them to produce the best product coming out of that high school as possible. And ensuring that those kids are well educated, well reasoned, and can apply critical thinking skills goes a long way to making your community not only safer, but more productive. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Your community is going to achieve more if you've got a good education system in it. There's a reason. There's a reason why these communities across the country in big blue dots. If you go to any big blue dot, the communities with the biggest budget for their school program and the highest per capita, you know, there's a reason why the crime is less in those places. And one of the major contributing factors of that is that there's not rampant juvenile delinquency. There's not teenage gangs and all that stuff. So yes, you do. Everybody that pays taxes or anybody that lives in a school district has skin in the games. Period.
What's up, some random dude? Morning. Well, and even if you, and I mean, I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just gonna be blunt and on to the point. Even if you don't have kids that are going to the school, you still wouldn't want kids reading inappropriate shit. And so if you can go down there, and even if it's not your kids, like my kids are all grown, my grandkids don't go to school right here, but I still wouldn't want them teaching that shit to any of these kids. And so
Exactly.
it's just having a say, because once again, that's the next wave. So people can shoot and talk shit about politicians and the government and ooh, do. That's the next wave. The kids are the next wave. If we don't start trying to work on a better foundation, all is lost, in all honesty, because yeah, but if the next wave has got out from underneath our feet. What's up, Von Eric? Morning.
So here's a simple fact. 99% of the teaching colleges in the United States are extremely leftist, Marxist to a point. All of them. So the type of teachers they're putting out are going to espouse that ideology. It's just they're human. Let's put aside the fact that they feel evangelical about their Marxist their politics. Let's put that aside. They are human, and they're going to do it. Everybody's biased that way. These are the same people that insisted that Joe Camel and Spuds McKenzie would entice children to smoke cigarettes and drink beer. The same people that espouse that are now saying that teaching kindergartners and first graders about oral sex and being gay or being trans does not influence their life choices. All right. So this is another reason why we need to be involved, and we need to the parents for especially are the frontline defense against that stuff. And if they're not stepping up and they're not saying something about it, it will continue to run rampant. And it's been supercharged since early 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Early 2000s, I guess, right around that time.
Free range parenting shit come out.
Yeah. So you're not going to change the academics coming out and teaching the kids now. You're just not going to do it. Not anytime soon, at least. But you can control what happens in the classroom.
Well, and it's a thing for the community, because if your community goes up to the school board, faces some rebuttal, and then cleans house, man, that like sparks a fire, because then that shows actions.
And I think Scat Pack made a comment earlier, and 100% true. A lot of parents are just checking out. They're just checking out, and it's not necessarily because of fifth grade math, but it's because they, number one, a lot of people see it as futile, and number two,
What's up, D-Dog?
you go work two jobs, or you're a single mom and you go work two jobs, and then you come home and you got to deal with that. I'm not saying it's right. I just understand why it's happening.
Well, we get caught up in the muck. We want the latest phone, the latest pad, the latest, some cool profile tires. And there's all these little shiny objects. And I have this talk with my son and my daughters now, because hell, even though I'm telling them, they still will do it. But it's that, man, the minute we did the loan shit, we were started down a very dark path, and it wasn't just economical. It was changing our behavior. It changed the way we view things because it's like that good old fashioned hammer you've had for 20 years really is just fine. But damn it, man, your neighbor got a new one. And he was bragging about it. And the next thing you know, you go down and you're spending money at damn Lowe's or Home Depot getting a new hammer because it's really just hyperbole. It's just bullshit talk. And then when you look at all the shit that doesn't even get built to last, so they're literally mind jacking you into just buying new ones. It's like a TV. That don't fix it. Just go get another one. Dude, I remember when that damn flat screen TV, when that first came out, that shit was thousands of dollars. Now it's $279.
You know, some random dude, latchkey kids have a lot of challenges.
Oh,
Yes.
Hudson. What's up, Hudson?
Yes, it does. It does present challenges, but I'm gonna say this as a counterpoint. Gen Xers, for the most part, were latchkey kids. My parents were both teachers. I was a latchkey kid. My sister was a latchkey kid. You know what? And we both and arguably the Gen X generation is probably one of the most successful generations. Probably the pinnacle of American society as far as living a life better than what your parents lived. But we were all latchkey kids. So it's not. Yes, it is a problem. I'm not going to debate that fact, but it's a matter of the fabric which the generation is cut from.
Well, we come from a generation that did things, Grumpy. Like you thought outside the box. You know, it's like, yeah, there was that ladder, but look, we could if we built a ladder like this, we thought of other ways to do things. We were still pushing forward, and I actually said this a few years back, and I think that's where we plateaued. We climbed and climbed and climbed, and man, we did new shit, you know, bigger cars, some tougher trucks. We started to evolve with our lives and make stuff, but then we plateaued, and corporations just started handing things out. You know, cell phones, TVs, iPads, lease your car. That's the latest one I've noticed because on my Pluto TV, unfortunately, I get these stupid ads, and I find it ironic on a Western channel, some of the crazy ads I get, but you can afford a new Toyota truck today. Come on down, but when you look up, it's all of a sudden lease. They don't want you to own anything. Well, we take that for own nothing and be happy, but in a sense, making light of that statement is actually where we are because people don't stay. There's so many people give up their roots. They don't stay where they were born and raised. They move on. They're tired of that. I mean, I don't want to be in this boring place. I want to go see other things. Well, okay, now you don't have communities that have been growing up together. You used to have communities. You know, your friend in your 20s was probably some kid down the road somewhere around in your town that you grew up with because you stayed there. Your family stayed. We don't do that no more. Yeah. Now we encourage move. And now with the internet, I can go look up England. I know everything about England. Why do I even have to bother going? Why do I need to go to Colorado? I could just go do this virtual tour. Oh, yeah, that's so pretty. We don't want that fresh breath of air. We don't want that pretty scenery. We'll just see it on a screen. It's fine. And it's just, that's the shit. And there is no evil, bad politician that's causing that. It's going to be people pulling their head out of their ass. I like D-Dog's comment. Took him 12 years of school board meetings to get the Bible back in the classroom. That's the type of perseverance that we need. You know, hey, Rescue, I'll tell you this, man. This is my personal opinion. I think the difference between Gen X and everybody that came afterwards is we were the last generation that did not have social media. We were the last one that didn't have it. And the more invasive social media has gotten into our society, the worse our society has become. You know, and I was talking with a guy this last week at work. He was doing some work for us. And his job before the one he's at now, he was in an IT department for one of the largest school districts in the Kansas City area. And he said that every child in the school system from kindergarten on up
has access to a media device. They've got a take-home device, and then every classroom has a cart with 10 devices in it. So if the child forgets their device at home, they've got one on loan. And they've got access to the internet and by extension some form of social media all the time.
Hey, Blackbird. Well, I'll tell you, that is one of the, okay, so kind of weird to say it, but the silver lining of the whole COVID thing was that it exposed the schools. That's the one thing that the silver lining out of it is it exposed the schools. So many parents had no clue until all of a sudden those kids were in that bedroom doing the remote learning, and then they started hearing and seeing stuff. Was like, wait a minute, what?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it was a reminder of parents that you can't just send your kids there for daycare for the day. And see, and that's another problem. We find it convenient because we want to keep chasing life. We want 401. We want stocks. We want, you know, we judge ourselves on a monetary value. And it shouldn't be that way. That's how we got led down this path to this slaughter pasture we're in right now, is because we chase the dollar. What's up, Solomon?
Hey, there are 26 people watching this stream right now and only 12 thumbs up. If you guys want to help get the message out, get on there, hit that thumbs up, because that will tell the algorithm that people enjoy this type of content, and it will push this stuff out so more people can see it and we can get the message out better.
I probably got about 5 down thumbs. They just don't show you those.
Yeah, those people don't matter anyway.
No, dude, it's so funny. Yeah, those always crack me up because I don't even care about the numbers.
Okay, I'm going to have to go here pretty quick. Man, it is 7:12, and it is still pitch black outside. I cannot let my animals out when it's dark like this because they get eaten by predators. This is I don't like daylight savings time, but this time of year, yeah, I wish it was lighter sooner on the clock.
Daylight up there.
You know, well, I think it's really cloudy too. Plus the moon.
Now, whenever I first started, I was going to show everybody kind of what I chopped on yesterday using my cameras. But when I loaded up my cameras, all of a sudden there was so much fog was thick out there, you'd have thought I was in a storm.
Mm-hmm. But, hey, great talk this morning, man. Just there's so much going on, and so many things we need to do. You know,
this is kind of like sitting at the movies, and we're waiting, and it's going to start any time now. So are you ready? And so you get relaxed and you get to talking, but then you go, oh wait, is this okay? No, this is going to be another ad. Okay, and it's almost like you're waiting. How does that saying go? Waiting on the other shoe to drop.
Yep.
Because that's what me, man.
May I do an unashamed plug before I go?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, listen. If you are in the Bowling Green, Kentucky area this weekend, and you're looking for something to do, Western Kentucky University Show Arena is hosting the Kentucky Sustainable Living Project Festival. Go get a day ticket. Better yet, if you want to learn how to can, if you don't know how to can, you want to learn how to can. Angela is giving a class on canning Friday. It's a paid class, but you're getting some takeaways, and she's feeding you lunch, and you can learn how to can. And plus, she's doing fermenting demonstrations all weekend long. Like every hour or so, she's gonna give a demonstration about fermenting stuff. Very, very inexpensive price for what you get. Come out and see us. Come talk to us live in person. Excuse me. Yeah, Jason's going to be there, and so is Local Prepper. Local Prepper's
free dried. What do y'all call that? Your little crack?
The what?
Your little freeze dried crack?
Oh, the Skittles. Freeze dried Skittles.
Man.
Yeah.
Get a bag of those bad boys. Woo, good stuff. Yeah,
so it's going to be a good weekend, and that's one thing. It's a relatively new festival. I think this is the third year that they've done it, so maybe second year. I don't have to go back and look, But as far as festivals that we go to, it's a good one. It's part of the Triple Threat Prepping Festival, Midwest Preparedness, Self-Reliance Festival, and then Kentucky Sustainable Living. But you get lots of good information. Better yet, you get to meet a lot of good people, and you get to make good connections. All right. So if
Who's the
you're in,
person that's going to be next to Angela there? Isn't it somebody doing medical or something?
yeah, Chuck Peoples from Homestead Medical is giving a class on wound care and closures, which Chuck is probably one of the most knowledgeable people in the country as far as uh, uh, emergency first aid type of stuff. He's a first responder. He worked as a contractor in Iraq as a medical person. He worked in several other foreign countries as a medical person, as like the medic for these guys. He was in one of the first responders in Katrina. Like he was literally one of the first people down whenever Katrina happened, giving medical assistance to people. So yeah, he's very knowledgeable. If you ever get a chance to watch any of the interviews that he does with people, I would stop and take time and watch it because he knows what he's talking about. Plus he's got he sells medical supplies and he's got really good prices. You know, and here's the deal. If you come by something from our tent where we've got buckets so you can put together your own emergency kit. If you buy something from us, you take it over to his tent, you get 5% off everything that you bought. Or if you buy something at his tent and you come over to ours with a bag, you get 5% off everything that you buy then too. So you get some good deals. All right.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's still dark, man, but I'm going to end up not going into work till like 8:30 in the morning if I continue to wait any longer.
Dang. Yeah.
Guys, I hope I didn't black pill you too much. If I did, I apologize. Hopefully, we gave you guys some solutions. Tina, it's Chuck Peoples and it's Homestead Medical is the name of his YouTube channel and his company. Chuck Peoples, Homestead Medical. And coffee, this is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. The paid classes are on Friday, which would be the 25th, I think. Yeah, the 25th, and then the festival goes all day 26th. They're having a fundraising dinner Saturday night for Caleb House. If you don't know who Caleb House is Bear Independence anti-child trafficking efforts. He provides beds for kids coming out of those situations. It's a good cause. I've met Bear personally, and I'm quite honest about it. I did not like him when I first saw him on YouTube, but once I got to meet him in person, he's a great guy. He is very dedicated with what he does, and everybody in his organization is just as dedicated as he is. I got to meet some of those guys at Self-Reliance Festival before they went to the disaster relief. But it's a good organization, and it's worth donating to.
Yep.
So
I
I
haven't had
hope
a chance to meet him in person, but I just you
he,
gotta get through the personality. Sometimes it's not about all personality. You kind of get through and listen to the message. And
what you see on YouTube is what you get. That is not a fake YouTube persona. That is how intense and how driven he is in real life.
Hey, Kush, morning.
So, okay, I got to get out of here. The sunlight's finally starting to peek out over the trees, and I need to go feed the little furry grifters. That actually, I call them grifters. I call them socialists, but they're not. They're an integral part of our community here, and they provide a very valuable service to us. They sacrifice everything for our well-being, and we appreciate our little furry and feathered friends. All right, guys, everybody go take care and go live a life done free today. All right. Talk to you later, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Mm.
Keep your head on a swivel. Make it a good day. Cool. Man. Hey, morning, PJ. How are you, ma'am? How are you doing? I'm sorry to hear about your dog, ma'am. I totally understand the fur babies. I don't know if I can. Hey, Blue. Going into alert mode, got to pretend to work now. Has anyone heard from Billy? He was in here just a while ago. That was a mountain aviator. Ooh, man. Thank you, Kush. Roger that, PJ. It's about all we can do. Man. At least the cult is being exposed. Some good things happen. I just hope enough people show up. It's been a hell of a ride. I know that, boy. There are days, too. There's days I kind of go, man, you know what? I almost go back to no YouTube. But then there's a few of you it's nice to talk with. I just, man. Oh, he's gritting big. He's doing real good, D-Dog. That's actually my next project. That's what I was cutting them bushes and little trees down in the front because we're going to try to get them moved into the front before the weather stuff comes in because that'll be the south side. So then that'll help block them from the northern winds as it comes in during the winter. Plus, that front is so thick with San Augustine, and I can break it down into different sections that then I can water them and keep it going. Hey, later, Pilgrim. Make it a good day. Choice is always yours. Blackbird says, I took the advice of a friend and voted early. Had to go to town anyways. Right on, Blackbird. Hey, man. You know what? It. I was so happy to hear it down here. We had a little over 800,000 showed up to vote on the first day, and it's like, yeah, almost 1 million people. Hopefully that's a good sign that there's enough people that are tired of this shit. We shall see. All right, Black Cat. Make it a good day. Yeah, I feel like shit. I hurt so bad I didn't sleep for crap last night. Wasn't even really planning on being on this long. Hell, there was a part of me that was even thinking about canceling the dang thing. But then I thought, well, so I come and I sit and figure. And then good old Grumpy comes up. Thanks, Buffering. Yeah, I don't know. Feels weird. I've opened up to people and then only to have it come back and I don't know, shit on me. I guess you could say. Whatever. That and I don't do the internet game very well. That's all this. I don't know. I'm just me. What's up, GTP? No, I'm not sick, Coffee. I did so much yesterday. My legs have really been hurting last night, and my stomach. It's just everything just makes me. I feel rough. Everything just hurts. I didn't sleep for shit. Excuse me. Ooh man, I live in less than 10,000 in county. I believe everyone voting lines are long. Oh, there you go, Buffer. I don't care about what others think of me. I care what I think of me. Oh, I'll get you, Scat Pack. And it's not so much the thinking; it's the I don't know, man. It sounds kind of it's just the confiding in somebody and then they shit on you, and you're kind of like, well, damn. And part of it's you kind of like, damn, I didn't see that coming. Just that kind of shit. Oh, I don't. I raise my kids that, if you respect somebody, then their opinion matters. If you don't have no respect for them, their opinion don't matter. Kush, I think she's doing okay. Actions, about 800 people in my town. Chemo Carl got some new foam in the mattress. Yeah, I got you, Coffee. Clearly, I'm bad at lurking mode. I'm very reserved on who I tell my actual personal stuff to. Been burnt too many times now. Yep. Later, Blackbird. Make it a good day. Yeah. See me, I'm not. I don't know. I guess I don't sweat it because with the recovery and all that, and then just some of the job roles. So I don't know. So I'm open. I mean, I don't say everything. There's people that I have shared things with, you know, but matter of fact, there's been times I flat out going, it'd be nice if you kept it to yourself, but if you feel like you want to say something, I'm just trying to prevent all the drama that's going to follow afterwards. And that's kind of usually, I just keep shit. I mean, hell, I've done screwed up shit. I don't care. And if I do something wrong, tell me. It's like if I insult somebody and then, hey, let me know. I'll let you know if I meant to or not. It is what it is. Yeah, buffering. Well, it's just it lets people can hide, and you can be the dick, and not no accountability. There's no consequences for all the choices on this digital platform. Don't go to ChatGTP. Better choose live stream. There, son, I've been there and done that. No coffee. Especially when it's unaware. You know, you kind of see shit coming and it's one thing, but then when it's like, damn, man, really? So you just flip like that? And that kind of, I don't know. And hey, man, you know what? All these people that act like they don't feel this or feel that, or it's like whatever. I don't fake it. So I'll tell you, yeah, hell yeah, that hurts my damn feelings. It really kind of because I trusted in some people. You know, you trust somebody and you say, hey, let me share and talk, and then it's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, see, that's not cool. So it is what it is. Exactly. Big Dusty, Little Dusty. I still get a kick out of that. Y'all need to do some more videos. Get my little Big Dusty, Little Dusty fix. I always love that about them little videos. I don't know. It's the little things in life. Oh, man. 32 of y'all here. I appreciate that. It's Hump Day. Tonight is Hudson Valley We All Gonna Die Wednesday. I forgot what time. 7? And then I can't remember if there's something else. Oh, man. I think Peanut is hilarious and great music. His political views be crazy. Oh, yeah, not a fan. Because once again, it's the character of a person. I mean, it's cool the talent, but it's the character of the person. And people that find enjoyment in acting like a leftist liberal, it's not really for me. Well, you two wouldn't let me say hello earlier, so I did a reboot. Oh, hey, Kims. I ain't easy to kill bringing lunch. Right, Carl? I made my surgery for a Thursday because I wouldn't do a Wednesday. Oh, just didn't want to chance it, huh, Coffee? It's like, I don't want to go under on a Wednesday. I gotta try to call the damn doctor's office, that neurosurgeon's office, to go, fine, are we getting an appointment or what's up? I mean, I need to get this ball going if it's gonna happen before the end of the year, because come January, well, gotta meet the deductible all over again, and that just puts everything back to square one. God dang, man. Okay. Man, I'm sorry. I'm just. This is. Mm. I had to brag and tell you I had a heck of a fishing day the other day. I'd like to go again this morning, but I got to go back to work today. It's beautiful weather. Oh, look at you, Kims. So you had you a good fishing day. Coffee. Just don't go into the light. So what'd you catch? Kim's like, whenever you're fishing, is it like the trout, salmon, catfish, bass, perch, sturgeon? More than likely, cause she'll cook that fish. She cooks a lot of dishes. That's what she does for the VFW. Hey guys, I appreciate everybody starting their Wednesday with me, but thanks, coffee. Yeah, I'm trying to pace myself. Hey, Billy. Scat Pack was wondering where you were at, I do believe. I already did some that night going to freeze the rest. We don't have the fancy stuff down here, but we got bass, crappie, bluegill. Ooh, all right. Some little catfish fillet. There's a Chinese lady finding pearls and living creatures she catches. Oh. You know what they call a fish with no eyes? Hey, kiss off. Damn, girl, I'm sorry. You came in at the tail end. Hey, I appreciate everybody, but yeah, I'm going to call it. So I want to go lay down. So, hey, y'all make a good day of it. The choice is yours.
I ain't here tomorrow. If the good Lord says it's my time to go, I don't see that morning sunset. There's some things I need for you to know. The truck is yours if you want it. It'll run forever if you treat it right. When you think of me on some back road, that's because I'm right there by your side. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow. Don't let life turn you bitter. Don't be ashamed to bow your head. Take it easy on the liquor. Remember what it did to your granddad. tears don't make you weep. Gonna find that girl God made just for you. Knows what he's doing, wait and see. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow. Keep the shotgun in the family, raise your babies by the book, and keep my picture in your wallet, keep your car keys on a hook. Do your best to get it right, forgive yourself when you don't. Please don't ever forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow.
Hey, make a good day of it. I appreciate y'all. Remember, you're able to do whatever you put your mind to do. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You just keep showing up, do the work, and lead the way. Be the victor, not the victim. Appreciate y'all.